Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to do a Mobius cast on. And for that we do need a 40-inch circular needle. The reason you need it to be 40 inches is because you need to be able to knit, and the stitches are going to be on the cable and the needles kind of at the same time. And so you need to be able to get your needles around. If the cable's shorter, then you can't get around. If it's too long, then it just depends on if your Mobius is big enough or not. But 40 inches is the minimum length and probably the maximum length for a lot of patterns too. So, all right, so for a Mobius cast on, you're going to start with a slip knot. Make a slip knot and place it on your right needle in your right hand. And then take the cable. So kind of loop the cable around. This is how you're going to be in knitting position, but drop that part and just pick up the part of the cable. Let the other needle fall down behind, and we're just going to hold this part of the needle in our left hand, and then I like to hold the yarn with your left hand. And now we're going to be using the cable to wrap, or to help us wrap the loops. So we'll go into under the cable, grab the yarn and pull up. That counts as our first stitch. So that's one. The slip knot does not count. So one, and then we'll do a yarn over, and that counts as two. And then we're just going to repeat that. So go inside, pick it up, do a yarn over. So now I have a total of 4. So grab the yarn and do a yarn over. Grab the yarn, do a yarn over. And this can get, you can start going really fast. Just remember to count every time you put a loop on this top needle. Don't worry about any loops building up down here. I'm not going to count those in at least the patterns that I'm writing using a Mobius cast on. I'm only counting the stitches that are on the top and not counting that stitch marker. So go in, grab the yarn, and over. And we'll do that a lot of times. However many stitches the pattern says, and then I'll show you. All right, once you have the number of stitches you need in the pattern, it'll look something like this. So at this point, we're going to, you can scooch. As I was going, I kind of scooched my stitches down and pulled this as I needed to get more loop. But now we're going to just do the real readjustment. So I'll take my my thumb on my right hand and finger and pinch the last stitch right here while I do the adjustments. We'll bring the needle up. It was dangling down. I'm just going to bring it up kind of behind this loop. And then we'll scooch our stitches around up into knitting position. So just kind of scooch them onto the needle. You're gonna have to pull so that the cable lines up with the needle, so that they kind of line up and fit together. But just scooch your stitches around, and then we're gonna see. I don't know if it's hard to see here. If I would pull this a little bit, my slip knot is actually on the cable in between the needles. So that's right where it should be. So for now, we're just going to leave that slip knot alone. It's going to tell us where we are when we get back to the beginning. So that's kind of nice. But at this point, we can place a marker to show the beginning of our round, and then we'll start working. So again, just slide the stitches up as much as you can. Slide them around, and then let's take a look here. So here's our slip knot on the cable needle, down on the cable, and we're just going to knit into this the stitch that's on here. We're always going to work into the leading leg, and I'll show you what that means. So here it's kind of like normal. So knit or purl, depending on what the pattern says. But now this stitch is mounted the opposite way. So the leading leg is towards the back. The leg that connects to the left or to the right side is in the back of the work. So I'm just going to knit into the back of that stitch. And you just work along working into the leading leg as you go. If you were, if the pattern had you purl, then you would just purl the stitch like normal. If it was the leading leg towards the back, then you just purl into the back of the stitch. Or knit, or purl, as you need. If a stitch slips off, I'm just going to show you that real quick, it would look something like this. So you'd have 2 wraps on the cable below. And so in that case, just pick it back up and put it on and make it look like it's going between the 2 needles. All right, now I'll show you what happens when you get back around. All right, after you've worked all the way around, we're back to the halfway point. So I'm about to come up on my slip knot. So you can see my beginning of round marker is down here on the cable. So I'm getting to halfway around, and things are going to get easier, I promise. It was probably really hard to scooch it around, and you had to kind of adjust things, but that first round is hard, and the rest go much easier. So I have 2 more stitches that I've got to do before I get to my slip knot, and now I can see this stitch right here is my slip knot. If I pull my tail, I can see that. So I'm going to let that come off and then just pull out your slip knot. And now we can continue along with the pattern and just leaving our slip knot. So here you could place another marker that would mark your middle of the Mobius round. And some patterns you switch, you do something different at the middle, but if not, then you can just continue on your way, doing, you know, yarn overs or working 2 together or however you need to. And all right, thanks for watching.